who have demonstrated a passionate commitment to public service, to uplifting our neighborhoods, and to bettering the lives of all who reside in our city. As you enjoy tonight's event in this space dedicated to courage and noble sacrifice, we ask that you take the time to reflect on what has been lost and gained in our ongoing quest for justice and freedom, how that work continues today, fueled by the big and little gestures of kindness and bravery of people of all kinds, just like the ones we honor here tonight. Now I'm pleased to introduce our first speaker. On a personal note, from my vantage point as commissioner of this cultural agency, it's an honor to be working with someone that gets the arts and the important role that our creative community plays in contributing to making this city special, not just on the surface, but in the real and powerful ways that help connect people to their humanity, hope, and possibility for something better. Thank you for your leadership, to you, Mayor, and to you, First Lady Amy Eshelman. And now, without further ado, Mayor Lori E. Lightfoot.
So good evening, everyone. And for those of you who haven't been here, this grand Army of the Republic room was recently reopened, and I think it looks quite spectacular. And at my wife's urging, we decided we wanted to hold one of our first events here in this room and welcome you all back to this refurbished, I think, gem of the Chicago Cultural Center. So it's a great honor to welcome you all to the second annual Mayor's Medal of Honors award ceremony, honoring individuals and organizations who have made an extraordinary contributions to our residents throughout 2021 and have been deeply influential in charting our path forward to Chicago's post-pandemic recovery. I don't have to tell any of you in this room that the challenges we faced as a city in 2020, but again in 2021, were daunting, but nowhere near as steep as the ones we faced during the first year of the pandemic. We entered 2021 armed with a new, safe, and effective COVID-19 vaccine, a true game changer in our fight against this virus, as many of you that have been on the front lines know all too well. Through a phased vaccination rollout strategy, we began getting vaccines in the arms of those who are most vulnerable to contracting COVID-19, and we started that work in January 2021 to all Chicagoans over 65 years of age, individuals living in non-healthcare residential settings, such as homeless shelters and correctional facilities, and of course, our essential frontline workers. And then in March 2021, vaccine availability opened to Chicagoans 16 to 64 with underlying medical conditions, as well as to other essential workers. But the truth is, we knew, particularly in Black and Latinx neighborhoods, that we needed to do more. So I'm not going to say we violated the federal rules, but we just expanded the scope of our work through Protect Chicago Plus, and many of you were instrumental in that work. We were able to vaccinate whole communities, generations of people, households that had grandma through infants and everything in between. And we worked our tails off to make sure that we were reaching people where they were throughout the city. Now, to be clear, that work isn't over, but we've made tremendous progress because of the work that was done by people here on the ground. And I have to share with you a personal point of pride. You remember through much of 20 and into 2021, Latinx Chicago in particular was deeply plagued by the virus. Now, in majority Latinx neighborhoods in our city, Latinx individuals are more likely to have received a first dose of the vaccine than white Chicagoans. And you can clap for that, because that is a big accomplishment. And that is due in large part to many of the people that are in this room that we are honoring tonight. We still have hard work to do. We need to continue our diligence, but we also need these moments of reflection to embrace the joy and the greatness of our city. We have a lot to be proud of as Chicagoans, No, to be sure, we've got our challenges like every major city, and more work to be done on all of those big, long, decades in the making systemic challenges. But we cannot pass up the opportunity to embrace the joy. And that's really what tonight is about. If hope is what we started with in 2021, unity is what we ended with. As we saw leaders from the public and private sector come together to address and solve some of the most daunting challenges that we've ever faced as a city. And so I also want to say thank you, because I am deeply grateful to all of you for contributing to this effort. I want you to know that you have helped to change the trajectory of our city for the better. You have literally saved lives. Whether it comes to the work on the vaccine, whether it comes to extending hands to refugees that are coming to our city, the work that you have done is tremendous, tremendous, and will redound to the benefit of our city for decades to come. You have a lot to be proud of, and we are grateful for your contributions to us as a city. And so now it's my pleasure to introduce Otto Nichols III, Executive Vice President of Clayco. Clayco's a special company, and its leader, Bob Clark, is a special kind of guy, an unabashed lover of all things Chicago, and someone who cares about the big issues, and is a big thinker, but as I said last week, he's also a big doer, and he's empowered his people to follow in the footsteps by his lead and following by example. And so under Otto's leadership, Clayco has been a great partner to the city of Chicago and our communities, helping to beautify neighborhoods and increase community morale through beautiful architecture projects. I am so proud that Clayco is part of our civic landscape. And with that, I'm going to welcome Otto to the stage.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm Otto Nichols, Executive Vice President and partner at Clayco. We're a design build, construction, and real estate firm based here in Chicago. And I'm here representing not only Bob Clark, who's the Executive Chairman and founder of Clayco, but also all the architects, construction managers, designers, and tradespeople who work with us every day to build beautiful communities here in Chicago and across the nation. Mayor Lightfoot and First Lady Eshelman, it's an honor to be here with you today. Thank you for the opportunity to support this event and help us celebrate the amazing things that everyone is doing in the city. You know, we hear every day the negative news and the terrible circumstances people find themselves in, especially throughout this pandemic. What we need to hear more about, though, are the companies and the people and the organizations that are trying to help our brothers and sisters out of these circumstances, the people tirelessly working to build a better community, a better Chicago. And that's why Clayco has jumped in to support this program and the mayor. You know, at Clayco we have a saying, beyond these walls. It's not just about the buildings we build, but who the buildings mean to the community, what the buildings mean to the community, and the work that occurs in those buildings after we're long and gone. We're dedicated to improving Chicago through hiring and mentoring an inclusive workforce, advancing minority-owned, women-owned, and small businesses, and supporting local community organizations through our Juneteenth Fund and also the Clayco Foundation. Chicago is the city that works, the city of broad shoulders. Everyone here is a great example of why Chicago works and how broad our shoulders really are. You've all gone above and beyond to use your talents and resources to move Chicago forward, and we should all be so inspired by the work that you've done. Cecile DeMello, or Rita, who I've just met tonight, and her work at Teamwork Englewood, organizing her community and fighting for equity. inspiring young leaders like Jana Richardson, who is the future of our great city, Karina Aiello, a tireless champion for Latino immigrants here in Chicago, or Grace Chan McKibben's advocacy and support for Chicago's Asian American community. And that's just a few. I hope we all walk away from here tonight with just a little bit more than what we came here with, a spark to go above and beyond, inspired by all of you. So on behalf of our family at Clayco and all 2,800 people at Clayco CRG, the Lamar Johnson Collaborative around the nation, I want to congratulate you and thank you for doing so much for our community. Thank you very much.
All right, so let's get this party started. We will begin with Camille Kerr, founder of Upside Down Consulting and Shy Fresh Kitchen. Shy Fresh Kitchen is a worker cooperative food service contracting business co-owned by formerly incarcerated individuals. Camille founded Shy Fresh Kitchens, which began operating out of the food business incubator at the Hatchery on the west side, and in 2021 announced plans to expand its roots to the greater Grand Crossing neighborhood. Camille is a champion for returning residents and ensuring no one in Chicago has to go hungry because they can't afford food. Shy Fresh Kitchens is able to produce 1,500 meals a day for local schools, daycares, and traditional homes. And during the pandemic, served more than 100,000 meals to neighboring neighborhoods facing COVID-related food insecurity. Camille serves on the cities of Chicago's Community Wealth Building Advisory and Food Equity Councils. Camille, thank you so much for helping to solve Chicago's food insecurity challenges. Come on up to the stage. Next up is Cecile DeMail, who cannot be here yet. I don't think she's come yet. She's racing in as soon as her plane lands. She'll probably be here for the reception. She is the executive director of Teamwork Inglewood and is a force of nature. In 2021, Cecile served as an invaluable member of the city's Community Safety Coordination Center Launch Committee. She organized city and community resources to improve streetscapes and vacant lots as a violence prevention strategy. But prior to that, Cecile has been an influential community organizer, developer, and policymaker, having been at the forefront of many local reform efforts. Through Teamwork Inglewood, Cecile and her team offer essential youth programming, supports for residents with criminal backgrounds, parent leadership, job supports, wraparound services, and public safety programming, and recently brought a fresh food grocery store to Inglewood. So she and her team really deserve a tremendous amount of thanks for the work that they're doing to really turn around hearts and minds in that community. Rita Lewis is accepting the award on Cecile's behalf. Rita, come on up. So our next honoree is Elis Cheesecake. And some may be saying, okay, they make good cheesecake, but why are they here? Let me tell you why. Not as many people know about the incredible work that the Schulmans do to provide all residents with employment opportunities. As its founder, Eli Schulman, once said, "Treat others as if you were the other." a quote that really encapsulates how the bakery contributes to all of our communities and is dedicated to hiring those who face significant challenges to employment. Currently, 25% of its workforce are refugees from all parts of the world. And in 2021, you clap for that. And in 2021, in partnership with Refugee One, Elis welcomed refugee employees to its team. Thank you, Elis Cheesecake, for supporting some of Chicago's most vulnerable residents, but also some of our newest residents, and helping them make the transition from war-torn countries to the United States and here in our hometown in Chicago. And accepting this award on behalf of Elis is Elis President Mark Schulman and Director Maureen Schulman. Please come to the stage. Next up is Lasse Chicago and New Life Centers, members of the Violence Prevention Collaborative, Chicago's longest-standing violence reduction initiative that includes over 25 community partners. For decades, and especially during 2021, Lasse and New Life have led efforts to advocate for the Little Village's most at-risk youth, and to help facilitate violence interruption, peacekeeping, and restorative justice throughout the entire Little Village community. I can't even say enough about the work that you all have done. It's been remarkable, it's been needed, and it's helped the community heal through a number of difficult traumas. I am deeply grateful for the things that you do every day for the residents of Little Village and making those young people feel loved and supported through difficult time. So it's now my honor to welcome Marcela Rodriguez and Cesar Nunez, co-executive directors of Lasse, and Pastor Matt DiMatteo of New Life to come to the stage. We've talked a lot, obviously, about the pandemic because it's been a really consuming part of our lives over the last 2 years. But what you probably don't know is the people that are responsible for crunching the data, doing the analysis, and being really the support for all of the incredible work that the Chicago Department of Public Health has done. Our team of epidemiologists who have really been, in many ways, the unsung heroes of our city's response to the pandemic. These epidemiologists helped to investigate the causes of COVID-19 at a time when very little was known about the virus. And their tireless efforts proved just how much the availability of transparent, reliable data can impact city life. The epidemiologist team has done phenomenal work and really been nationally recognized by the CDC and others, spending countless hours creating the public-facing data for the COVID-19 dashboard that many of us look at every single day, and in my instance, multiple times a day over the last 2 years. In 2021 and throughout this year, they've also reduced the risk of occurrence of COVID-19 through research, community education, and health policy. I just want to say thank you, gentlemen, for the work that you've done. You've done your city an incredible service. So accepting on behalf of the team at CDPH of epidemiologists, our directors, Nick Prashant and Peter Rusto, please, gentlemen, come to the stage. The next person that I have the honor of recognizing this evening is Grace Chan McKibben. When I think of someone who is a dedicated community leader, Grace's name rises to the top. In addition to being the executive director for the Coalition for a Better Chinese American Community, Grace is also a member of my AAPI Engagement Council. Grace has done tremendous work to advocate and uplift Asian Americans throughout the entire city of Chicago and Chicagoland through policy, advocacy, and organizing. In 2021, Grace was a leader in efforts to improve relationship between AAPI and Black communities in Chicago, providing spaces for members of both of these communities to connect, develop compassion, and grow closer and warmer towards each other. When we see ourselves in our neighbors, we are the better for it, and Grace understands that. Grace, I've got to thank you for so much of your advocacy and leadership in our city, which has undoubtedly helped make Chicago a better, fairer, and more equitable place. Please come to the stage. The next organization I'd like to honor tonight is InfiniTeach, founded by Katie Hench. InfiniTeach develops technology that changes the lives of individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. In 2021, InfiniTeach was tremendously helpful in vaccine outreach to the intellectual and developmental disabilities, or IDD community, through Vax for All, a campaign that provided critical resources with those with IDD and receiving the COVID-19 vaccine. And throughout this campaign, 2 of InfiniTeach's autistic employees worked in partnership with the Mayor's Office for People with Disabilities and the Illinois Council for Developmental Disabilities to create a first-of-its-kind COVID-19 vaccine social story. So, Katie, and your leadership team, we have to thank you so much for the work that you have done and continued advocacy for Chicagoans with disabilities. Please come to the stage. And I should add that joining Katie are 2 of her team members. Our next award goes to someone who has done nothing but distinguish herself from the moment that I met her. Her name is Jonna Richardson. Jana proves that no one is too young to be truly community engaged. She's as a member of the Mayor's Youth Commission and the chair of its Public Safety Committee. In 2021, she worked with her committee to plan face-to-face sessions on carjackings and the Juvenile Intervention Support Center, or JISC. These sessions brought in an important youth perspective on both of these issues and informed young people about the resources available to them in times of distress. She then presented the findings from these sessions to me to help inform our citywide public safety strategy. Jana is I'm so proud to be able to work with you. I mean, she's an incredible talent, folks. She's going to be somebody that you're going to know for years to come because of her commitment to our city, her innovation, and just her willingness to roll her sleeves up and get stuff done. So I'm grateful that you have chosen to give public service in the way that you have. We all are looking with great anticipation for your future as you graduate from high school and move on to college. So please come to the stage. Are you feeling a little love and joy, I hope, tonight? Good. So next up, we have Karina Aiello from Mayo, the CEO of Instituto del Progreso Latino, and a chair of the Chicago Commission on Human Relations New Americans Advisory Council. In 2021, Karina advocated for immigrant communities by standing up for amendments to the Welcoming City Ordinance, hosting naturalization workshops and supporting Afghan refugees, organizing vaccine outreach, and facilitating food drives. And that's all as part of her day job. Karina brings love, passion, and energy into everything that she does, and she was truly a pandemic hero. There's more that we can say, but I just want to say thank you. You are truly a beacon of light, somebody that adds such incredible value to every room that you're in, every community that you touch, and it's my great honor to welcome you to the stage. We've mentioned that one of the biggest challenges I think that has really come to light in our city is food insecurity. We have seen this really in every single community throughout the pandemic. And there are many, many people who have stepped up in a really significant way. But tonight we are honoring Lakeview Pantry, one of Chicago's largest and longest running food pantries. In 2021, they served 4 million meals and expanded their focus to mental wellness services, providing 1,600 mental wellness sessions for residents to meet with licensed clinicians and social workers. Lakeview is a true beacon across the city, connecting residents on a variety of social services to ensure that our communities can survive and thrive. One resident they serve, 19-year-old Alicia, such that she's not only grateful for the meals and friendly volunteers, but she can even pick up flowers from the pantry to add color and joy to her home. And if you've not been to their new facility just north of Wrigley, you ought to go and visit. You know, many of the challenges that we face with vulnerable residents and serving them is making sure that we're doing so in a way that maintains their dignity, that we're treating them with respect. You go into that Lakeview Pantry facility and you feel like you're walking into Trader Joe's. Literally, the first thing that you see is a bunch of flowers and plants. The residents walk through essentially a grocery line. They can pick out their meat, their dairy, whatever it is, vegetables that they want. You, Kelly, and your team have done a tremendous job. So I'd like to invite the CEO, Kelly O'Connell, to the stage. In talking about where we need to be as a city, we can't ignore the importance of the arts and culture and really helping us articulate our feelings, giving us a sense of hope, pricking our consciousness and challenging us in very profound ways. And we are so incredibly fortunate in this city to have an abundance of Chicago-based artists who are extraordinary in their talents, but also extraordinary in their service. And that brings me on to our next honorees, Nick Cave and Bob Faust. In 2021, their powerful work at their facility studio on the Northwest Side, right across the street from CPS's Schurz High School, and on the CTA, brought people together and activated community conversations. Individually and collectively, their work is often focused on social justice to challenge the viewers' perspectives and open their minds. These two artists created the Wrapped on the Mile mural, the Garfield Green Line Station's artwork, and many other art projects throughout our city. We are unbelievably fortunate to have them located right here in Chicago. They could be anywhere, literally in the world, but they have chosen to stay here, to keep their talent here, to help educate and nurture other artists. And I am personally grateful for their friendship and everything that they do. The level of creativity, individually and collectively, is extraordinary. So Nick and Bob, please come to the stage. And for those of you who don't know, Nick is having a major retrospective at the MCA that opens up in May. Part of it will be at DeSable. It'll be a treat. Don't miss it. Our next award goes to the Northwest Center. This organization is an active member of our racial equity rapid response team and has been from the very beginning. A strong partner and community leader in our Protect Chicago Plus initiative. And what's special about the Northwest Center is that they are a resident-led organization working to respond to the needs of the Belmont-Cragin and surrounding a neighborhood and the surrounding communities. Working in partnership with Oak Street Health and over 70 volunteers, Northwest Center led a grassroots effort that has led to a, ready for this, 800% increase in vaccination rates for the Belmont-Cragin region. And as a result of that, Belmont-Cragin went from being one of the most challenged neighborhoods during COVID to one of the most vaccinated communities in our city. And I told you before that as of now, if you are a member of the Latinx community, you are more likely to have one dose of vaccination, and that is due in no small part to the work of organizations like the Northwest Center. So I'm delighted to welcome Northwest Regional Lead Nancy Valentine to accept the award on behalf of the Northwest Center. Nancy, come to the stage. So we just went from the northwest side of our city, and we're now going to the far south side. And our next awardee is the Phalanx Family Services that serves Pullman and Roseland. Phalanx is another city partner with whom I am extremely proud. In fact, we were just down there yesterday. They do everything from soup to nuts that that community needs, providing job readiness and youth programming, as well as health services on the far south side of our city. In 2021, as the My Shy, My Future community partner in Roseland, Phalanx convened a local network of youth service providers and organized fun events, including the Winter Kickback, and when they turned their building into an ice skating rink. As the City of Chicago public health partner, they presented COVID-19 vaccination and testing sites throughout the far south side. And I know that the far south side region appreciates Phalanx Family Services' generosity and compassion as much as we all do. Tina Sanders, the CEO, is a tremendous leader, but the team there works together. They understand that they have to be united in a mission to bring healing and services to that community. So Tina, please come on up to accept this award. Our next award goes to Sandra Miller, an artist who partnered with the CDPH and Ogilvy to create the innovative Face Forward project, which encouraged teens aged 12 to 18 years old to be vaccinated. You can see these creations, these works of art, are extraordinary and beautiful. Sandra and Face Forward team created a stunning box truck studio that was driven through neighborhoods where residents were hesitant to get vaccinated. Sandra went to work photographing and interviewing 200 teenagers, highlighting their resilience and hopes coming out of the pandemic, and importantly, gave them a piece of art to call their own, to make them feel special and loved. So, Sandra, thank you for your heartfelt and beautiful work and your efforts in nurturing our young people, and of course, the resulting boost in vaccination rates. This campaign was very meaningful, very powerful, and very effective, and would not have been any of those things without you stepping up and doing the work that you did. So please come to the stage. The next award goes to another really important community partner, the Southwest Organizing Project, or better known as SWAP. I'm particularly proud that SWAP is a founding member as well of our Racial Equity Rapid Response Team, as well as a Healthy Chicago Equity Zone delegate. SWAP convened local health centers, residents, and community-based organizations to chart out a comprehensive pandemic response in partnership with CDPH in my office. In 2021, SWAP mobilized literally hundreds of volunteers to increase vaccine participation and to distribute COVID safety and prevention information in the communities in which they work. Their efforts enabled the Southwest Side neighborhoods to become also some of the most highly vaccinated neighborhoods in our city. This is hard work, folks. It is literally door to door, person by person, and SWAP along with Northwest Center, just as two examples, have done incredible work in saving lives in the communities in which they work. And in addition to that, because of the breakthrough with the vaccine hesitancy, we are also seeing many of these residents understand the importance of preventative care and connecting them up with local resources in their community. The fear that people have of healthcare, but also knowing what's going on with them is real and it's palpable. That's why trusted community partners are so incredibly valuable, and that's why I'm grateful and appreciative of the work of SWAP, and you are very deserving of this honor. So I'm proud to welcome Healthy Chicago Equity Zone Regional Director Jessica Biggs to accept this award on behalf of SWAP. So this next award may be a little overdue, but as they say, better late than never. This goes to the City of Chicago Leader Protection Fund's Community Navigators. And let me just give you a sense of the importance of these mostly women and the work that they do in immigrant communities. They are a network of organizations led by the Resurrection Project, which recruits, trains, and organizes a core of navigators who are primarily immigrant women themselves. These navigators literally go door to door and have informed hundreds of thousands of immigrants about their rights and connected them to legal services. They made sure that in our immigrant communities, people were aware of and informed about not only their rights, what to do if ICE knocked on their door, but through the pandemic, how they could get access to vaccination clinics and life-saving recovery funds, and making sure that people in these communities understood that in the city of Chicago, to be a truly welcoming city, we must embrace all of our residents, and that vaccine services were available without regard to citizenship status and without regard to the ability to pay or insurance. I can't say enough about these folks. I've walked the streets with them. They are tremendous, they are strong, they are fearless, and they are doing the Lord's work every single day. So I'd like to welcome Resurrection Project's Vice President for Immigrant Advocacy and Defense, Ari Rendon, and Community Navigator Shirag Cha to stage to accept this award. In our great city of Chicago, one of the things that we are blessed with is business people who understand what civic leadership looks like. Not only understands it, but step up and do things. So our last awardee of the evening is the United Center. And I can honestly say that our city's vaccination rates would not be as high without the incredible support that we receive from the United Center leadership. And let me give you a few details. In 2021, the United Center came to the city and expressed a willingness to support our vaccine distribution efforts. They were the first mass vaccination site of its kind in the city and distributed through that center over 300,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccine. But even before that, when the United Center was shut down, they opened up their doors to house supplies that were absolutely essential in the first year of the pandemic. PPE, other masks, and other things that we needed, as well as food. And then I will also say that in the fall of 2020, when we were heading into the national election, they opened up the United Center as a super site. And we had more people that voted there, probably because they wanted to take the picture with the Jordan statue, but that's all right. We had more people vote there at that super site than any other site across our city. I can't say enough about the Wirtz and the Reinsdorf family and the team at the United Center and what they have done to step up. And when we call, the only thing they say is, absolutely, how can we help? And many times the call comes from them asking and inviting us to use the United Center in one way or the other. This, my friends, is what civic leadership looks like. So I'm deeply grateful to the United Center for their support and continued partnership with the city. And I'd now like to welcome Chicago Bulls President and Chief Operating Officer Michael Reinsdorf and Blackhawks CEO Danny Wirtz to accept this award on behalf of the United Center. Gentlemen. So I'm looking at Aaron and I'm saying, okay, am I supposed to do something else other than thank people and invite them to the reception? Okay, so there you have it. Folks, I just want to say, though, with a few closing remarks, we have been through a hell of a lot in these last 2 years. But I got to tell you, from where I sit, and where I sit is with you, in the neighborhoods, in our streets, on our blocks, we are damn lucky to be in the city of Chicago. Not that we don't have our challenges, we do. But the spirit that we have, the resiliency, the selfless acts on the part of residents all over our city every single day makes me incredibly proud to be a resident of the city, and let alone being the mayor. So I want to thank you all, the awardees, the teams that you represent, and the communities in which you serve. It's a great thing that we have you in our city. We are pleased and proud and grateful for your service. So God bless you all. Thanks very much. We're going to do a photo and then we're going to have the reception. Thank you all.